How much should founders really pay themselves? Most advice on this topic lands in one of two places. It's either pay yourself nothing, you're building something bigger than a paycheck, which is romanticized kind of nonsense, or it's pay yourself market rate, you've earned it, which will get a founder laughed out of their next investor meeting. So the reality is kind of more uncomfortable than either of those takes. A founder's salary is a signal, and in the early stages before product market fit is proven, it's communicating usually one of three things to every investor who sees it. So it's self-interest or a genuine understanding of how early stage capital works. Let's talk about what the number should actually look like, and more importantly, how to think about it. So forget the industry ranges for just a second. The real question isn't what's normal, it's really what's the minimum needed to make genuinely good decisions. Financial stress doesn't make founders scrappy, it does make them short-sighted. So the founders who are broke do make desperate moves, chasing bad deals, maybe cutting the wrong costs, accepting terms they'd never touch if they weren't under pressure. So the salary does have to exist at a point, but the constraint that actually matters is that a founder's salary is a function of three variables: round size, runway, and stage. When any one of those things falls out of sync with the number, there's going to be a problem. So for example, raising a $300,000 angel round and drawing $100K in salary, that's a third of total capital going to one person before a single pure hire is made or a single assumption is really validated. So that's not a startup operating lean and what an investor is expecting. That's really a bridge loan back to your lifestyle. Now, raising a $2 million seed round and drawing $60K in a city where rent is $3,500 a month, that founder is making a desperate decision by month 8. So the math guarantees that. The number does have to be honest, not performatively low to impress investors, not quietly padded to protect comfort. Now, what does the math actually look like? It starts with the real cost of living, not an aspirational number, not a previous salary, just what it actually costs to keep the lights on and maintain clear decision-making capacity. Add 15% for taxes and the unexpected, because both do arrive without warning. Then run the runway test. So take the raise, subtract operating expenses minus team, infrastructure, the actual cost of building, and look at what remains. Divide by 18 months at a minimum, 24 for real breathing room. So does that salary fit inside that number without compressing the runway to the point where fundraising starts again before any real milestones are hit? If not, then something has to change. The salary, raise size, or burn structure. Now, I'm in a founder who had a $250K engineering job and tried asking investors for that same salary as part of her pre-product raise, and no one gave her the time of day. She said that's what she's worth, which might be true, but founder to corporate is not the same line. The amount needs to be benchmarked against stage. Pre-revenue or bootstrap, the honest range is 0 to 50K. Post-seed at $1 million plus is 50K to 125K is defensible and investor appropriate. Now, post-Series A with more traction, that's 125 to 200K on average. Now, these aren't arbitrary ranges. They reflect what the investors need to believe. The capital is being protected, the efficiency is there, and that the founder hasn't confused their term sheet with a compensation package. So here's what investors actually see. If it's too high, this person isn't building a company, they're funding a lifestyle transition. If it's too low or 0, the founder might make a fear-driven decision in 6 months, and it's going to cost everyone. Right in the middle is they did the math, they understand capital allocation. This might actually work. The third read is what the whole exercise is optimizing for. Now, not every investor will be okay with the salary either, as in the later stages, most salaries should come from revenue generation, so that's why the number needs to be an honest calculation. If the math gets run honestly and survival is impossible without destroying the runway, that's data, not failure, and it might mean raising more before going full-time. It might mean keeping a consulting job while building for a little bit. And neither of those things are shameful, both are honest assessments of where things actually stand. The founders who blow up early-stage companies usually aren't the ones who kept a freelance client for extra 6 months. They're the ones who drew 180K on a $500,000 raise and convinced themselves it was justified, or didn't disclose what they were taking from investors, and now they're in legal trouble. So run the math and remember that everything is negotiable. You don't have to survive on ramen forever. And if this could save a founder friend a costly mistake, share it with them or drop your questions about founder salaries below. And if you want more of this kind of breakdown, be sure to subscribe. I share new videos every week.